Okay, I just want to open up a statement with, first of all, giving congratulations to Fresno State. What a football team. Incredibly well coached, very talented in every single area, special teams, offense, defense. We knew this would be an incredible task and incredible challenge for our players and our team and our coaching staff, and it was. The experts had it, anybody could win it. And that's exactly the type of game you saw. You got to give them a lot of credit. They're a very good football team. I don't think our players are going to get the credit maybe they deserve with the type of win they just had for many reasons. One, you can talk about Group of Five, Fresno State, all you want. That team won 10 games last year, got everybody back. Most of you, or a lot of you, picked them for a Group of Five representative for a New Year's Six bowl. A lot of them, or that team, had in some publications get votes for top 25. Scored 79 points last week. On offense, they scored points. Defense, they scored points. Special teams, they scored points. And, they're a tremendous representative of their university and their football program. So you got to take your hat off to them and Coach Tedford and his entire coaching staff. Their offensive coordinator came from Eastern Michigan, very familiar with him. And when we left, I never thought I'd have to face him again because his offenses were always the most difficult we felt like in the Mid-American Conference to defend. So I also don't know if you realize what our players just accomplished. No, this isn't a Big Ten championship. But Rodney went down. Mohamed Ibrahim didn't play. Your two big playmakers in the run game didn't play. 59% of your team are freshmen. And you look out there at one point, every one of your playmakers besides Ty Johnson's a freshman. And they've never been in a situation like that before. And you don't know how they're going to react. And, it's kind of like a ride that you go on that you've never been on before. And you're on it, and, it's all the twists and turns. And there's that excitement level to it, but there's also that little bit of fear, too, like what's through the tunnel. That's kind of how I felt as we were going through. But typical Zach Anixted comes over to me. Right on the final drive, which probably not the best time to come over to me, looks over at me, smiles, says, "Isn't this fun?" I do not think my answer was, yeah, this is really fun, Zach. Yeah, I'm having a great time. But this was a great football game, and you got to give them credit. But, again, our football team accomplished something I thought very special tonight where it took everybody on this football team to win. As coaches, we had to find very creative ways to score points in a lot of different ways, and some things that weren't even in the game plan we had to install on the sideline just to be able to get the ball moving. And I've been proud of a lot of football teams in my career, but there's like a different level when you become really proud of a football team. And tonight, this is one of this is one of those that this is one that this is up there. This is one that I'll always remember no matter what. This is one of those games that can do a lot for your season, get you in a turn. So it was inspiring by what some of those young men did tonight. And we got a long way to go. Got to get better in a lot of areas. It wasn't good enough on a lot of fronts, but they found a way to win. So I'm very proud of them, guys. I know you're going to have a lot of questions. I'd love to answer them.
PJ, on that last play there, did you see their guy kind of sneak free there on the trick
Sure
play
did.
for a brief second there?
Yeah, because it's kind of, okay, well, you want to throw a 2-point play against us? Kind of tricky. Well, we're going to throw another tricky play to tie the game because it was. But when you see a running back and he has it and his head's down and he's running to the side, you know something's coming. Winfield's guy runs right by him. But as I saw it, so many things go through the mind. It happens in a split second, but so many things go through your mind. And I thought about the Buffalo play last year where Johnson's got our whole defense beat by 15 yards, and here comes number 11, and boom, knocks it out of the air in the last minute. That actually flashed through my mind when he's back in the end zone. Not only does he tip it, he catches it, puts his foot down, and makes the play. I was just so glad we didn't have to challenge that or reverse that or do anything like that. The officials were working tonight, but that just shows what type of player Antoine Winfield Jr. is. And it just proved this is a player's game. I mean, Coach Rocca didn't tip the ball to himself. Coach Smith sure as heck didn't. I didn't. He did. And he made a play. And when you get your best people to become your best players and make the plays you need them to make in critical situations, now you're starting to have something. And, again, one game, that's all it is. But I thought it was really special, and I'm proud of them for a lot of different reasons.
To do for an offense to have a player like Sept you can rely on who seems to consistently kind of come through in those short yardage situations?
Well, first of all, he loves it. He loves it. One thing we always talk about in our team, we want you to practice like professionals. You've all been to our practices. They are not easy. Our practices are not easy. I would love for one of you to do an internship with our players and just practice with us. It'd be a great story. But you'd have to run everywhere they run. Just how do you feel at the end? Because it's not just the plays, it's in between. It's a constant movement. Those are the type of things that in that moment can give you the opportunity to win a football game like that. But Seth Green's a great example of that. Very selfless player. I've said the story even last week. We're going to have to continue to find ways for him to be able to be more involved in the offense, which we will. You can't just run the same plays every week that you do, but that's going to be a part of what we're doing, especially if Rodney's out and Mo stays out. That's going to be a big part of it. It has to be. I mean, we've got to have some type of ground game, and that's what we're going to be able to do. And then it puts a little bit more stress on the pass game, which we got to get better at as well.
Nice to have a Wildcat quarterback who you're comfortable really throwing the ball with.
Yeah, it helps that the Wildcat quarterback's an actual quarterback. He's just 240 pounds. That makes it better, you know. But we've got some other guys we can do some things with that we just haven't done yet, and we'll keep evolving our offense. And we just there's so many youngsters, and again, it's how much do you want to give them? When do you overload them? Part of being a head coach is feeling your team. And when you feel your team, you know what they're ready for and what they're not ready for, depending on what everybody wants to see. Sometimes they're not ready for that. We had a bunch of things we wanted to put in this week that we just kind of looked at each other and said, we're not ready for it.
What is Rodney's injury and what's the severity of it?
I don't know. We're going to find out here soon. It's a lower extremity injury, knee, ankle, not sure exactly. But we'll find out here soon. I'm sure we're going to spend the night tonight somehow getting some pictures and things like that. But again, just like I told him on the field, and this is what's inspiring about our team. I told him on the field, I said, no matter what, whatever happens, our oar stays in our water, and we deal with it. Right? We deal with it in a positive way, in a connective way, in a serving and giving way, and we make something positive out of this every day if something like that happens. And what does Rodney do? He's back on the field. What is he doing? He's coaching Bryce Williams up. He's coaching Femi Cole up. They come off the field. Him and Shannon Brooks are the first ones there to meet the defense and the offense. Guys, that's special. You know how long it takes just to create that? Because it's not fake. Like, that's unique. That's a culture. That's a team. That's unity. That's connectivity.
Odd PJ is how calm Zach is for his age. I mean, you told two of these stories now where he can laugh and joke around. He's 18 years old. How
Yes.
odd, how unique or special is this to have that ability?
We talked before, as we said, we want our guys practicing like pros, playing like kids. It's a game. We all make it way bigger than that. I mean, it's our jobs. It's our careers. These are kids. And I think somebody sent me an email before. Why do you call them kids? Because they're kids. They're somebody's children. I don't care if they're 18 or 56. They're somebody's kid, somebody's child, right? I mean, my parents still think of me as a kid, right? That I'm their kid. So he has that kid in him, but there's a difference between immature, right, and mature, and having that type of personality. He's a very mature individual, but has a lot of fun. There's a difference between being silly, right, and being funny. Big difference. And he never crosses that line. But the players love playing for him. And at such a young age, that's why I said, I don't know if you guys really know what happened tonight. I've never been anything. I've not been through anything like that before with that many young kids. I haven't. The only thing I could talk about is the second year at Western Michigan when we were down 24 at halftime, and those kids were young and they came back. That was the type of. I was like, wow, and they were tired of being average.
You mentioned young a number of times. I thought your young corner Smith out there single coverage all night long did a fabulous job.
Yeah, another true freshman out there in man coverage the entire game on Keyshawn Johnson, who's a Mountain West, all-conference player. And you got a chance to see why a few times tonight. But you also got to see why that kid's going to be a big-time player. It's interesting. I want you all kind of I want you to go through kind of our roster and look at how many young guys and watch their performances as true freshmen or a redshirt freshman. When I was a redshirt freshman, I was a true freshman. There's no way I could have made what they make. These plays are making. It makes me really excited to know what's in store for the future. These are young players. We've had 11 draft picks in 12 years here. There might be 11 draft picks just in that class. I don't know. But they're really good. I just know they're really good. We just got to mature them. We've got to continue to keep them humble. We got to keep them hopeful in the lows, humble in the highs. And they'll keep working. But that's a special group. And then you tie in those 9 scholarship seniors and those junior class wants to lead too. I mean, that Carter Coughlin, those Thomas Barbers, and those Blake Cashmans, man, they're really talented football players.
The 3rd and 9 where Annexstad scrambles to keep it alive, and Ty makes that catch along the.
Changes the whole game.
Yeah.
That changes the whole game. Every play tells a story. It's part of the story. And that play changed. I don't believe in momentum. I think that's just something that's make believe. Either somebody plays better defense or they don't. Somebody goes on a 20-point run in basketball. That means somebody's playing better offense. Somebody's playing worse defense. I don't believe in momentum. But what I do think is there's shifts, right, in terms of people's confidence. And I think that is what happened at that point. Our true freshman quarterback made a play, threw it to one of our best players who made a play on a critical 3rd down that got us going. If we don't make that play, who knows how the game turns out. Because up until that point, that was the most important play of the game, period, because it was the next play, and it changed the whole outcome.
How does it relate to the team that this is one that you'll always remember?
I just told them that. It was pretty emotional in that room because I was very honest with them. I told them that if they keep changing their best, that they have an opportunity to get better. That was it. But I told them that they're special. No matter what, they're special. And rarely do you get a chance to sit there and tell your team that in a real way, that they're special, and really inform them and educate them of what they actually just did. And again, the outside people, there's going to be people who say, yeah, 7 points to Fresno State, boom, boom, you should be fired. I don't understand that. Then you don't understand how good Fresno State really is. And, we're 1-0 in the Fresno State season. That's what we wanted to be. Those kids laid it all on the line tonight. They left nothing out there. And that play by Antoine Winfield Jr., my goodness.
PJ, when they
Thank goodness he's back.
Sorry, when they score to go up 14-13, was there any part of you that was kind of hoping for this kind of a moment to see them go through adversity, to see what they were probably made of is too strong of a term, but were you hoping for this kind of moment to see how they would respond to that kind of thing?
And I don't know if any coach will ever tell you they hope that they're getting beat. You hope that you get beat so you see how they'll perform. But I'm glad it happened. Happened last week. We were down 10-7. They responded. This was a little different of a game. This was, that was early. Late in the game, they take the lead. They've got all the momentum in their direction, and we just kept saying there's no such thing as momentum, no such thing as momentum. And just respond. That's the result now. Now we got to respond, and they did. But that was they showed the resolve. They showed their heart. They showed the character of the football team that we have. No matter what our ages are, they showed what they can do. And I think they showed how strong our culture is.
Do you think this team has a little bit of a unique type of chemistry?
Absolutely. I think a lot of them, I always tell our teams, listen, you don't have to like each other, but you must love each other. And we define love as sacrifice, right, of giving yourself up for somebody else. And you don't have to, they don't all hang out all the time. But this group's really close. When I first got here, that was not the case. And they're very close. They got each other's backs. But they're all hanging around each other. And I will give a compliment to the $166 million Athletes Village and Mark Coyle and President Kaler and people who continue to make that facility elite, because it gives our players the ability to connect, to stay around, want to be there, want to watch film, want to be in the players' lounge. Right? When you're talking to Leslie, our nutritionist, want to be on a diet, the strict diet, want to do those things. And that's what we talked about, this race to maturity, when doing what you have to do becomes doing what you want to do. Well, when you walk into our Athletes Village, Yeah, you have to be there, but man, you want to be there. Every day I walk in on my office, I sit there and still like, this is my office. This is my office. It's beautiful, and it just brings that positivity as well as our culture, but that positivity into the room as they continue to connect. It's a great question.
We'll take one more.
TJ, when you look at your team this year for last year, the increase in speed is just noticeable. Is that something you really set out in recruiting? Like, this team has to get a lot faster?
That's great. That's a great question, Chip. We knew we had to get faster. We're a lot faster than we were this year, but that's one class. We need to get even faster than what we are, and we will. You know, we talk all the time in our room is we want our players to be self-motivated, driven. We feel like a lot of them are that we recruit. That's part of the standard. And I always tell them at times, I said, listen, you know, my job, let's break this down. My job, right, is to out-recruit every single one of you, right? I mean, I'm going to find I'm going to go find a better player than you. I want to keep this program continuing to go. Your job is to keep your job. And the way you keep your job is change your best, do the right things, continue to be into the program academically, athletically, socially, and spiritually, and go, and you'll grow, and you'll always keep your job. But if you stop, somebody will catch you eventually. And I think that's kind of changed a little bit in our program too. You know, our 2019 class, I think, is ranked pretty high too, and I think we only got 2 scholarships left that we're going to hold on to. We're full. And so now we're sitting already on 20s. I mean, we've got to elevate the recruiting here. The development, I'm really proud of. Our strength staff, Leslie, our nutritionist, you know, Sept, our trainer, he's unbelievable. I mean, our trainer, I mean, he's on top of everything, right? And it's fun to work with him. And, you know, I just love watching this culture and this program continue to move forward. But, again, our players they're special people. Special people. I'm not saying they're perfect. They're going to do all the right things, and they do one thing wrong, you know. But this program and culture is going to hold everybody accountable to incredibly high standards. And we're doing elite work, and we will not come down.
Thank you, guys.
Row the boat, Skyma. Go Gophers. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Just give us a moment. We'll put the table for players. We're going to have Antoine Winfield Jr.
Like that one?
We have Sept Green.
Talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah, you talk to me.
10:30.
No good job.
Hey, biggest thing you want